Well, we
There we go.
mentioned another thing that we actually didn't get to talk too much about, and this doesn't have anything to do with holograms, but what the hell? It's just something that we skipped over that I want to mention. Time machines.
Never gonna
Oh yeah.
happen.
Nope, never will.
I
Never
pray
Really?
to
will.
God it never does.
Yeah, I mean, I've studied a lot of courses throughout my time in college. A lot of the chemistry, a lot of the physics that I've taken. It's just there's too many physical laws of nature that are violated with backwards time travel. So the only thing realistic you could do with relativity is go forward, but then you'd have no way back.
Even going forward, I wouldn't want people doing that.
Why is that? Well, I mean, I guess if it was someone you cared about, you would never see them again, but
Right. Man, if it's somebody I don't care about, they can go fuck themselves. I don't really care about that, but I wouldn't want anybody to be like, oh, I'm gonna go 20 minutes into the future or something like that, and I'd be like, well, why? Like, I don't see the point.
you could pull a Captain America and you could go like 70 years in the future and your girlfriend remarried and she's like in her 90s and now you're fucking her niece.
That's right. That's like the big selling point. If Sam's working on a time machine, they're gonna be like, so what are the the military uses? What are the social uses? You're like, I don't know, you can fuck your girlfriend's niece in the future. Sold 1,000,000 units. I don't like the whole time machine though. Whether it's from a movie like Terminator or it's from something like The Time Machine, I think that's too scary of an idea. I don't want
I,
it to happen.
I definitely like a time machine that keeps my clothes on at least.
Instead of the Terminator ones.
I'm a little positive about the possibility of time machines. I think once we expand our knowledge into further dimensions of reality, we may be able to figure out a way to travel more with time. It's definitely not going to be anytime soon. It's not even a priority of figuring that out. It seems like. Um, it's one of those things that could be abused though. So it's one of those things I absolutely do not think will ever be commercially available. I think it's one of those things that only be available to like CIA type agents. So who knows? It might be available now, and we're not just going to know about it.
Tell
Of
you
course,
talk
some of
about
it's going to
people
be hidden from
abusing
us.
it, and you're
Oh
gonna give
yeah.
it to the government.
Well,
Any other thoughts on time machines, guys? Before we move on to another section.
well, what's your favorite version of a time machine though? I mean, there's the DeLorean. There's a phone booth, both from Doctor Who and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Uh, man, I don't know. That's hmm.
I'm
From
gonna
a
argue.
realistic point of view, I never understood how the DeLorean worked. Because the one thing a lot of movies just don't talk about, because just for the sake of the film and telling the story, is just that, I mean, Earth is moving. Our sun is moving. Our solar system is moving. Like, if they go backwards from just that point in the universe, they're just going to end up in space. Because where Earth was today, back in 1955, is not where the Earth is right now. The Earth could be millions of miles away.
You're assuming that that part of energy though is not also moving with the Earth though.
You would have to like have calculations to make it do that. You have to assume that the time portal is moving, or you know exactly where the Earth was and where you want to be on that Earth at exactly the precise moment to make sure that if you're even like a fraction of a second off, you could be 30 feet above the ground of where you want to be.
Flux capacitor, dude.
It just does everything.
Just insert phlebotinum. That's what it does. I'd rather not have a time machine. I'd rather just be able to do it naturally. That's my answer.
You mean aging?
If you're stuck in the only going forward kind of method too, yeah. But I mean, like, this is totally not a geek movie to bring up, but the time traveler's wife. This guy just can time travel. Now he can't get like a hold of it, and he goes back and forth all over the place, which I wouldn't want to do. But just being able to do it on your own, that's what I would rather do. I feel like I would have a little bit more control that way.
Like Hiro Nakamura?
Yeah, there you go. That's better. More geeky example instead of some stupid chick flick movie that I almost cried about.
Seriously, you crud?
Almost. It's actually
My biggest fear if that you could time travel is just that, like, sure, you might have control over it, but if anything were to happen, I mean, people get hit on the head and can't do all sorts of things afterward. If you somehow something happened and you lost control of that ability, you'd basically just be lost in time.
Or what if you theoretically you just like sneezed? Because when you sneeze, you have to close your eyes. You have no control over your body. And if, I don't know if anybody else has come into the problem, but if you're stuck in a car, you're driving, and you end up sneezing a whole lot, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna like crash the car because I can't see enough. Imagine trying to do that when you're like time traveling. You're just like,
Can you imagine teleporting out of the car while you're on like a highway and like the car just like spins out of control?
well, by that point, you already went somewhere else. Not your concern. You're
It's like I'm over here, it's over there. It's actually in the newspaper now.
time travel, that's a huge thing that that obviously we don't know that we have now or anything like that. That sort of knocks out all the things that I had written down ahead of time. So I'm gonna pass this along to you guys. Travis, first off with you, anything that we didn't touch upon that you thought of that we can kind of backtrack and talk about or anything?
Well, we were talking a little bit about like some of the cool movies from the 80s where some of the technology came from in those films that we wish we had today. Um, Dace actually made a pretty good list here in the Skype chat. I would really like to see if proton packs from the Ghostbusters would ever be a reality.
Wasn't the only use for those though for ghosts?
Yeah, true. I mean, first and foremost, I really don't believe in ghosts, but it's the fact that you have something like that available just for whatever reason, that would be kind of cool. I just want to see someone actually cross the streams and see what happens.
Pointless $1 million inventions. Let's do it.
Hey, because in this country we throw money around like crazy for stuff we don't need, so let's have some proton packs as well.
Not only something that like is theoretically pointless, but extremely dangerous as well. They make it a point to be like, these are nuclear devices. Imagine them being in the wrong hands.
And they're not toys. They're not for children.
Now the little trap thing that you throw out, that's a toy.
Yeah, I suppose.
You could trap Jimmy in that. Poor Jimmy, he's getting screwed up all over the place too.
No, but that's another thing too, is like a lot of like research is being done for needless things in this country. Like millions and millions of dollars are being wasted for this stuff when it could be used for like things that we need. But that's just how we are.
Well, Dace, you want to run down some of the stuff on your list then?
Yeah, sure. The one out of that list that I put in the Skype chat is the neuralizer. God, if I had the ability to just flash people with a little device that wipes their memory, it'd be great. Like, hey, you're coming over tonight, so flash. Right.
I think you're forgetting the best part of that movie, the noisy cricket.
No, I don't need a gun. I just need a device to wipe women's minds.
Because you want to rape them.
It wouldn't be rape if they couldn't remember.
Pretty sure that's not the definition.
Yeah.
Hey, and if anybody catches me, I've got a little device that makes them forget. No witnesses. So, I'm just saying the neuralizer needs to be a thing, because nobody would ever be emotionally hurt.
God damn it, Dace.
Well, this is why Dace isn't allowed to talk, because there's a whole bunch of other awesome things on that list, but I'm kind of fixated on the neuralizer.
Well, that would be a cool thing. I don't know if I'd use it for the same exact reasons, but...
Oh, mine are pure evil, so you probably shouldn't give me technology.
Well, what are some of the other things on your list?
The Batmobile remote control. Granted, I still want to bet there are Batmobiles out there, but if you had a remote control to drive your car to you, when you get parked in a parking garage, how awesome would it be just to drive it all the way up to the front because it's raining? Just animanium, if they had the technology to make that element. Super soldier serum. I'd like to be strong and not actually have to work out. The point of view gun from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Once again, evil intentions. I would love to sit in a room and just start shooting it at people. without trying to get them drunk, because that's the only reason like people get their point of view is when they're smashed. I'd rather have a gun that just makes it happen without spending money on alcohol. And the little Babel fish, I know it's kind of an alien thing, but something to put into your ear so when people are yelling at you in Mexican, you can understand what they're saying.
Well, you also brought up X-ray vision glasses, and
Yes.
that's something too that's a real staple when it comes to science fiction. And I don't know if that's necessarily something that would ever be like a commercially available kind of thing like that, because you got to imagine the radiation behind it's probably really dangerous. But that obviously would be awesome. Are you looking at that as the same horrible
Evil
method?
intentions?
Evil
Oh, yeah.
intentions as well.
Absolutely. It gives a whole new meaning to checking girls out.
Sam, anything that we haven't touched upon yet that you've got on your list of stuff? Uh-oh, we lost Sam.
That's because Nikki was yelling at him, and I guess they're into it right now.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I muted you guys.
It's okay. We can talk more about the neuralizer if you want.
There you go. I was
Sam just
actually
forgot.
talking.
That's why the neuralizer got him.
Yeah. Nothing really that I could think of. I guess maybe since they made it a lot more scientific and realistic, I would fucking love Thor's hammer.
For what?
What the fuck do you think?
DIY.
Evil intentions.
Exactly.
I just can't picture Sam walking around with Thor's hammer just like
Dude, all
bashing
day,
shit. Like,
After I shoot a few bolts of lightning, no one's gonna fuck with it. So
all day just running at people. Have at thee! And just throwing the fucking thing. It'd be great.
I can just picture like walking around everyday life, just hitting stuff, like taking your frustrations out on like a mailbox and everything. Like,
you could do that with a real hammer, though.
right, like horribly unnecessary to have Thor's hammer for it.
It'd be even better if you, like, for Halloween, just dressed up in, like, a red blanket, put on a cheap wig, and just fucking carried a regular hammer and started beating people with it.
There's probably real people that do that. That's the thing.
Probably.
Shaun, anything that we didn't talk about that you've got on a list?
Yeah, just the technology that was in Jurassic Park. We wouldn't want
Oh.
to see the cloning of the dinosaurs, you know?
Damn, that's a good one.
Unfortunately,
cloning,
that
that's
can't
a good
happen.
one.
It's gonna
Why
go to shit though. I mean,
No, it can't. DNA has a half-life, so we can't clone anything that's a couple million years old or older.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
I
But
trust Wayne
I
Knight
think
more.
we can clone things from the Ice Age, so if you want a saber-toothed tiger, go for it.
Fucking
On
A.
it.
Nobody
Mighty the
liked the
Mountain of-
saber-toothed tiger. Trini? Screw that.
Dace and I'll open Paleolithic Park.
I'm in for it. I mean,
I'm pretty
with
sure they're
evil
already in the
intentions.
process of cloning a woolly mammoth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard about that too. Yeah.
I think they're just taking an elephant and just like putting a coat on it.
Just a team of like Nordic guys keep shaving their beards and gluing the hair on the.
Or they just bring out a regular African elephant and they just say they shaved it.
Right. It's the special rare shaved woolly mammoth.
It's
not
not just
gonna be a-
hairless; it's the shave.
So like, so how come it never grows it back? Well, that's
We
what
keep
happens.
shaving it.
Magical creature.
Like unicorns.
They're like, hey, who are the scientists here? Shut up.
Well, also the web blasters from Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the webbing. They do have different things that are kind of like that now. Spider silk and everything like that.
Yeah.
Really high
Just make a
tensile
mess
strength.
at parties.
Hmm?
They just make a mess at parties.
I kind of want that cellophane S that Superman rips off his chest in Superman 2. And just temporarily throw it at people and trap them for a few seconds.
This would be horrible if we got all this technology, because I could just picture Dace going around flashing people's minds with that neuralizer, and everybody with the lightsabers, and Sam's walking around. He's got Thor's hammer, and
I
Some of
would
the
dominate
Spider-Man
the
web
world.
blasters with better aim than the fucking stormtroopers.
he's just like throwing the cellophane S at people. This would be so horrible of an idea for us to have this stuff.
I'd absolutely dominate the world, and you'd all be fucked, literally.
But we wouldn't remember it.
Not unless your ass hurt the next morning, but that's about it.
God damn
Like-
it, Dace.
What is this pain? I don't know. You just got neuralized, bitch.
So just remember, everybody, that if they become a reality, male or female, you are not safe from Christy.
Nope, I get
Dace,
bored.
you remind
is
me of
going-
the dude from the Hollow Man.
Oh god, that'd be
Uh,
even great too. Couldn't see me. I still do things.
Travis, anything that we didn't talk about?
I really got nothing else to add to the conversation.
Paden?
I mean,
Travis, you wanted to get whatever you had to say there?
no. That was my point. Is I got nothing
Tony
else
just
to add
got
to it. I think we've covered everything we could.
Ha, so you think. Let me tell you a story about the very first item that I remember seeing in a movie and wanting so badly. And it not only became real, but I was fortunate enough to get it one of the Christmases following seeing that movie.
Why did Chris get Snapchat me?
I don't know why.
They heard you, Nikki.
That item that I am talking about is the Talk Boy from Home Alone
yes.
2. I loved that stupid little thing. It just records your voice. It'll play it backwards. It'll play it in slow-mo, make you sound like you're an adult by having a deep voice. It was a cool little gadget. I loved having that thing as a toy. And I would impersonate Kevin McAllister all over the place. I would try to call places on the phone acting like I'm an adult and didn't have as good of results.
Or
you realize-
you could show him a picture of Macaulay Culkin now so that he knows not to grow up like that.
I thought Time Machine wasn't real.
It would be just for that purpose.
I am going to call out another Ghostbusters invention, the Ecto-1. If I could have any vehicle, I think that might be it. That thing is just so cool looking. Honorable mention, if I'm going to be talking about vehicles, also to the car from the Munsters. Yeah, I'm going to pull out an old school television show here. The Munsters. You ever see their cars? This like modified hearse to have this extra seat sitting off the back. Also has this hot rod front. Really awesome looking vehicle.
I would drive the car from Beverly Hillbillies where Granny
hell
was
yeah.
sitting on the rocking chair up on top of it.
Yeah. Or I would drive the car from National Lampoon Summer Vacation where Granny is also sitting on top of the car.
Way to dream big. It's like we could have like the tumbler, we could have, all these like flying cars and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like I want the one where my grandmother can sit on top. That's what I'm going for.
Props to Shaun. I also had dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. It's awesome if we could find a way to bring those guys back.
Till I crushed everyone's dreams.
Yeah. The golf bag from Caddyshack that Rodney
What?
Dangerfield's character had. The golf bag. You ever see Caddyshack? He had that super awesome golf bag. It had like a stereo and it had like that beer in it, and it would shoot the golf clubs out to him whenever he wanted them. That golf bag kicked ass.
They could probably do that.
Yeah.
Oh, totally could.
I
don't know if
honestly
it would
thought
have
you
the
were going to be
same
on about
pizzazz
the
to
bloody
it.
gun from Beverly Hills Cop. That was pretty ace. With the television and radio.
Oh, that was a good one too. Willy Wonka's factory, just the whole damn factory. That would be cool to have that.
What about his flying glass elevator?
Yeah, the whole thing. I'm saying every single part of it.
Okay.
All
I was gonna
the
say the glass elevator was a
the
piece
Wonka
of shit.
vision, the freaking egg things, all of it.
You just won the Oompa
scratch snip
Loompas.
wallpaper, the Oompa Loompas. I mean, those already exist. I mean, Snooki.
Are they technology?
They
he like
could be.
did he like grow them or something?
Oh.
Are they technology? What a question.
That's a question for the comments. Are Oompa Loompas technology?
The breakfast machine from Pee Wee Herman. I love that thing. He just wakes up in the morning and there's this whole contraption piece by piece that sets off each other, creating his breakfast. It reminds me of, I don't know if you guys remember these toys that were kind of big when we were younger. Wow, what the hell were they called? Were they called Connects? Where like you would
Yep,
just
I remember
basically
those.
create a machine of like one thing would happen, kind of like the game Mousetrap. Like one thing would happen, which would influence another thing to happen, would influence another thing to happen. Sam, what's the scientific term for that?
For what?
Like a chain of events. Like
Butterfly
one thing
effect.
causes another thing.
Oh shit! It's
A Rube Goldberg machine.
a Rube Goldberg machine.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that.
Yeah, that's it.
Thinking of. Yeah, that. So that Pee Wee Herman's breakfast machine, I think that would be an awesome thing to have in my kitchen, set to an alarm clock to go off every morning to have me a delicious French toast breakfast. One of the things that came real from a movie that I was recently watching, and just kind of blew my mind watching it in retrospect how much it hit the nail on the head was the Truman Show predicting reality television.
That's a damn good one. Yeah.
How massively obsessed the nation would become with it. If you haven't watched that movie in a while, I highly suggest watching it with 2014 eyes because it really hits a nerve while you're watching. And it's a fantastic film. Jim Carrey at one of his absolute best roles. And to mention another Jim Carrey role, actually I didn't have it on this list, but now that I'm thinking about it, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Who wouldn't like to be able to erase a few memories? Yeah.
I know.
This guy.
When Dace gets done with you, you definitely
what
want to erase.
What would be the side effects of something like that, though? Think about that. If you wanted
Cancer.
a memory erased, what if like that would cause something else where you erase this memory, but somehow this kind of stayed put, but then all of a sudden you erase that, then it kind of affects and goes on and on and on like falling dominoes. Think about it. I just don't think.
Oh, you guys are worrying too much about this shit. In the movie, it all went flawlessly, except that.
Well, that's a
I ended up falling in
movie.
love again anyway.
Dace is gonna build the Statue of Liberty one.
All right, and for my grand finale, my favorite movie invention that I am happy to say that I myself brought to reality: the cross joint from Pineapple Express. The apex of the vortex of smoking technology.
I think that pretty much rounds us out for everything that we could think of, right?
Whoa! I got one more.
Oh, you got another one? Go ahead.
This is actually legitimate too. Didn't in Star Trek Spock used to carry around this machine that would just scan you and it would tell you exactly what's wrong with you?
Yes.
You're
Yes, you
asking the wrong person.
I would definitely love for that to be a thing because, like, if I'm ever coughing, I'm like, shit. Do I just have a cold? Do I have the flu? Or do I have cancer? I can just scan it and it'll say, okay, you have stage 3 lung cancer.
Well, we already have WebMD.
WebMD sucks.
Wait a
Every
minute.
time I go on that thing, it's always cancer. Like, you know what? I'm sneezing, I'm coughing, and I have a fever. Oh, well, you must have brain cancer or something.
Maybe you should take the hint. Maybe you have it. Maybe WebMD's just like, dude, I'm fucking telling you, cancer. Can you get checked out? Why do I get flack for saying we should have transporters get rid of jobs with FedEx, but we get rid of doctors, and it's like, that's okay.
I just thought of one more. Anybody remember that TV show Sliders?
No.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So Sam, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's this guy played by Jerry O'Connell. He creates this remote control device that shoots out this portal, and you jump right through it. You go to different dimensions. Like think of there's a roulette wheel, as you will. There's like infinite possibilities of worlds that a person can actually slide to by jumping into this portal, and it'd be like current times, but things would be different. Like you have different laws, different people in charge. You know, something's different about your city. You know, things that don't exist in your reality but are possible in other realities.
Like Zordon.
Zordon?
Zordon's technology, man.
I was thinking more like if you guys have ever seen the show on Adult Swim, Rick and Morty, Rick, the scientist, has this little gun that will shoot out a portal, and he can go to whatever dimension he punches into it.
I was thinking more along the lines of Quantum Leap.
No, I wouldn't want that. No, I
because
don't
you
think
can't
so.
control that shit.
It's a good theme song, though. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da. So, anybody have any other ones before we finish this off?
Yeah, Zordon.
I think that would be a good one to leave off on. Let's talk about Zordon for a minute. You want to have a giant floating head that can tell you
Give me
that
the
stuff, or
power
would
to
you rather
evolve?
have?
I don't think he counts as technology. I'd rather have his tube that keeps him alive.
Well, I'd much rather go for Zordon than Alpha. A little annoying shit.
Alpha 5,
Yeah.
he's awesome.
Well, remember-
I want whatever is keeping Lord Zed alive without his skin.
Didn't Alpha 6 have like a real like gangster voice?
I don't think that was very
He'd
gay.
be like, yo, Power Rangers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awful. Thank
Yep.
God I stopped watching that show. Even as a kid, it was just like, all right, I'm out.
Apparently, in one of the future seasons, they had like Alpha 7, which had his original voice again.
That's like going back to what they're going to do with Windows 9, going back to Windows 7. So like that whole Windows 8 thing. Yeah. Screw that.
Piece of shit.
All right. I think that'll round us out for this episode. What we're gonna do right now is just do some quick plugs, and then that'll be it. So first up, Dace. Anything you wanna plug?
Hey! Yes, follow me on Twitter at the Dace Man. Check me out Wednesday nights on Mega Powers Radio, the Dace Man Show. April 13th, we're kicking off a new podcast. It'll happen every month, and it is For Real Movie Club. We're going to be doing Mel Brooks films for the first one. And check me out at oldtimewrestling.net.
Sam.
You guys can check me out at science101blog.tumblr.com. You can also check out Science 101 on Facebook. And after May, when I finally graduate college, I will actually have everything up and running and actually have a YouTube series for it.
Travis.
Yes, you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/rosecardreviews and youtube.com/rosecardletsplay. Fanboysanonymous.com, really awesome website, of course. Had a couple of articles go up here recently, one about the Castlevania art book, which is phenomenal. And I did a thing about how collecting video games is a little expensive. But check those articles out, and also you can find me on the Dace Man Show Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Mega Powers Radio. You can find me on Twitter, TravisGoss79, and yeah, that's all I've got going on right now.
Shaun.
I ain't got nothing apart from my Twitter, Shaun the C2K37, where you can find out what do you do when your dishwasher stops working. You can just slap her on the ass and tell her to go back to work.
Whoa.
This is why none of the girls come on the podcast.
I think that was because of Dace with his newer life.
Hey, I'm just being honest with them. Like, we aren't all going to go and do that. It probably happened to me like 20 times.
You weren't supposed to know that, Dace. And lastly, Paden.
All right. Well, you heard the name mentioned a number of times. I am the station director at Mega Powers Radio, and I would enjoy all y'all listening to support all the fine programming we have going on there. We got stuff going on almost every single night of the week, covering everything from sports to wrestling to whatever the heck your fancy is. We got lots of new shows coming up, such as what Chris said with the For Real Movie Club, and also I'll be debuting a show called Nerd Court, where all the biggest debates in nerddom will finally be settled. The first episode we're going to be doing is Nicolas Cage. Is he awesome or is he awful? It's going to be an excellent debate. Lots of people always have very passionate opinions on which side they fall on, so stay tuned to megapowersradio.com and, of course, fanboysanonymous.com for all the shows that are included in that lineup. And also to pay attention to what's going on with me anyplace else, follow me on your social network of choice by looking for MRPADEN. That's Mr. Paden. Follow me, like me, whatever the heck it is appropriate for that place. Thank y'all, and thank you, Tony.
Big thanks to everyone on the panel for being on this episode, and thank you guys for listening. For my plugs, I want to mention fanboysanonymous.com itself. If you want to join the team as a writer or a contributor in some fashion, we have a lot of different responsibilities and different positions that are open. So just send an email that way, and we'll get to talking to you. We've mentioned For Real Movie Club and Nerd Court. We also have another thing that we're working on, which isn't necessarily going to debut, really soon, but it's in the works, which is fan tracks. We're going to do commentary tracks for our favorite movies and TV shows and everything like that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, stay tuned for that. That'll be on the YouTube channel that we have here. Obviously, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and follow, and all that other kind of stuff. Share that with your friends and family. And all the other accounts that are on the social media stuff, all that blitzkrieg kind of nonsense. We have an upcoming special podcast, March 30th, for How I Met Your Mother fans. The series finale is going to be the night after that. So to commemorate that and to honor that series, we're going to have a big gathering for anybody who's a fan of that. You'll be able to call in live to that show and express your thoughts on not only the upcoming finale, but also just a retrospective on the past bunch of seasons and what that meant to you, what your favorite episodes were, so on and so forth. Stay tuned for everything like that. You can never list everything that's going on, so you'll just have to pay a whole lot of attention to that. And for this group meeting, this is adjourned. We will see you next time, everybody.